Smart contracts are electronic contracts that enforce and verify agreements as written in code. Since the future of cryptocurrency hinges on smart contracts, let's take a look at what they are and how they work. For example, I may have an idea for a book that teaches cryptocurrency ideas and concepts. I would make a page stating that I am attempting to get $1,000 in donations. If people donate at least $10, I'll give them a book. It took around a week, and I came up with $1,300 in donations. Once I reached my goal of $1,000, Kickstarter will provide me with all of the money that has been donated. Though if I didn't reach the $1,000 goal and my grandma donated $1,000, I would not get any money, and all the people who donated would get their money back. The smart contract is simply a piece of code that executes certain commands. These people are referring to something like, if A, then B. The most popular smart contracts are written on the Ethereum network and use Solidity. Let's explore how a smart contract can work with these examples. If you send me 5 Ethereum, in exchange I will send you 20 basic attention tokens. If you have over 100,000 subscribers, you will receive an additional 20 Ethereum this year. Additionally, if the temperature is above 95 degrees for more than 4 days, you will receive $100,000 as crop insurance this year. With a smart contract, we could easily automate donations where a particular recipient is eligible to receive, say, 500 Ethereum. Every person who donated would be rewarded in the form of an artwork or some digital in-game collectible or something more tangible like reading a digital book. The potential of smart contracts is immense, but 2 specific aspects of them make them helpful to everybody. Why are smart contracts so important to cryptocurrency? First of all, they're immutable, which means they do not change. I mentioned that many people call smart contracts if this, then that, because most smart contracts react to a triggering event by doing something. Those are coded in the blockchain, which executes the smart contract's code. There are upsides and downsides to that. If there is a problem or the code isn't well done, it will be there permanently. While that's the case, you could make a new smart contract and notify everyone not to use the old one if you wanted to. That's often the case. A second important thing to know is that these words are spread out, meaning that there was no issue with disagreement. That is, you can't hire a lawyer and claim. I had a completely different agreement with them because a few parties executed these smart contracts. In this context, smart contracts refer to an all-computer code that, in effect, removes any possibility of human error or issue. In short, if you can afford a lawyer, it may not be worth your while. Anyone who looked would be able to find your smart contract and trace how you were involved in it. We have standardized financial agreements because nobody can contest them when they're written in code. The code never changes, and everyone has access to them. You might not be a power user when it comes to this type of technology, but just let me give you some quick examples of what you'll be able to do. Number 1 on the list is a flash loan. For example, what would you say if I tell you that you can borrow $10 million without putting any money down? Put another way, there is such a thing as lending on the Ethereum network, as long as you've already saved enough Ether tokens to repay the borrower, or if you can lend vast sums of money on the Ethereum network if you know how to write the appropriate coding language. So to answer your question, all of the funds must be repaid. So you might be wondering why we would ever want to do this. What if you bought some Dogecoins for 50 cents per Dogecoin in Coinbase and then sold it for 55 cents per Dogecoin in Gemini? In theory, you could borrow $10 million, buy 10 million Dogecoin in Coinbase, sell it for a profit in Gemini, then pay back the loan of $10 million with interest. That's called a flash loan. And one man made $360,000 in just a few minutes, or just as a smart contract works. Check this out. You can use the smart contract to verify itself. It can generate a simulation of the program you set it up to see if your algorithm would be able to pay back the lender. If it can pay back the lender, the software runs, and you can borrow those funds. With traditional finance, you would never be able to do this, but on the blockchain, you can. Next, we'll take a look at number 2, insurance. Do you know that you can create an entire insurance company with just a few smart contracts? For example, let's write something simple, such as if Farmer John agrees to pay us $2,000, and if the temperature is above 95 degrees 4 days in a row in Missouri, pay him $10,000. Aha, so this is what insurance is. John can be sure that if his crops die from a heat wave, the contract will recognize that the reason for the death was from temperature changes and reward him with $100,000 in insurance. You might wonder how a smart contract, a piece of code, can find out the temperature in Missouri. With the help of something called oracles. Thus, oracles are invaluable for a smart contract as they are a trusted source that provides data about the outside world. So let's save the details of oracles for a future video. You'll need to know that data gets delivered to a smart contract in real time. One more question you might be wondering is where does the initial $100,000 come from? It would be best if you believe that prospective investors who want to start an insurance company would have to pool their money together to afford it. They would have to put their money in a smart contract. Whenever Farmer John pays in advance, he doesn't have access to those funds until the end of the summer. Until then, the smart contract owns those funds. If the insurance payments haven't been reimbursed to Farmer John at the end of the summer, the initial investment of $100,000 plus Farmer John's $2,000 premium gets repaid to the investors. Insurance can be, and most likely will be, immensely profitable use of smart contracts. Number 3. There's token switching. It's essential to create a pool of money with 2 different tokens when it comes to smart contracts. Smart contracts can let you switch one type of token for another. One that goes up in volume, you can raise the price of the other token to balance them out. Like this, you consistently maintain a constant value in the pool. This is approximately how a decentralized exchange works. You can specify a contract to be conditional so that if you give me 20 apples, I'll give you 30 coconuts. Except for apples and coconuts in this case are Ethereum and basic attention tokens so that you can execute this contract. Token switching is opening up a whole new world for day traders or investors who want to buy a specific cryptocurrency but isn't available on the more popular exchanges like Coinbase. They can buy another cryptocurrency and then use the decentralized exchange to swap those tokens. Lastly, the last reason why one might have a smart contract is so that they can buy a house. This would mean that you take the deed and put it on the blockchain when you got the deed to the house or apartment you're living in. It doesn't belong to you or the bank anymore. It belongs to whoever has the blockchain's digital deed. Someday we might be able to purchase a house with a smart contract instead of going through the traditional process, which takes weeks. Sending an offer through the blockchain enables it to be confirmed within minutes. If the offer is accepted, the other person gets your payment immediately. However, if it is denied, the deal is nullified. The next step would be that you own the new deed. Buying and selling real estate can be tricky if high costs in banks mean more of the profits end up with them instead of the purchaser. Wouldn't it be wonderful if buying and selling a house was as easy as buying and selling a stock with blockchain? If you found yourself learning something from this video, feel free to like the video to show your appreciation for our hard work. You might even subscribe to get updates from us in the future.